Roadhouse is sponsored by Speedy's Industrial Coatings in Ozark, Missouri. They do media blasting, powder coating, big or small, they do it all. Tell them the Roadhouse sent you. Today on the Roadhouse, we're going to try this Citri-Strip paint stripper, see if it works. Now, my Nova has got some serious paint on top of the original Cortez Silver. It used to be, it had a brown primer, and then it had Cortez Silver, the original paint, and then they put some really thick yellow paint on here. And as you can tell, I'll show you here, it's really cracked and stuff. And I tried sanding it. This is something that's going to have to come off, because this, I will not be able to sand this down as well as I would have liked without spending a lot of hours, a lot of energy. And I'm going to try to see if this works. It brushes on, and supposedly it smells like citrus, so it's not going to smell too bad, hopefully. And we'll see what we're going to do. Now it says to wear gloves, of course, and shake it well. Pour it into a container, and I got a container for it. And I'm going to brush it on. See, I bought some crap brushes and see what it does. Let's get it started. I'm going to start with just about not even probably 2 ounces. Go from there. It comes out consistency like glue or something, and it smells like citrus. So let's get this thing started. I'm going to put it on kind of thick because I have no idea how this is going to work. Like I said, it works, it works. It doesn't, I'll get something else. Or I'll get a DA sander and spend the next couple hours making myself mad. It says after 30 minutes up to 24 hours to scrape a small area away, and it's right almost at noon. I'm going to wait about 30 minutes and see how well this stuff comes off. Just a small area. I'm not expecting to do anything crazy after 30 minutes. It's been on there about 5 minutes. I just want to show you my coverage. In some areas it looks thicker than others. Let's see if it works. I might have to come back and do it again. This area right here didn't look like I got much on it at all. Let's see how it turns out in the end. You can smell something that's a little bit more acidic than the citrus smell. The citrus smell is throughout the whole entire shop. Okay, it's been on 30 minutes. If you see this right here, I kind of messed with it at 15 to see if it'd do anything, and it didn't do anything. So this is at 30 minutes. What I did for test purposes is I put this one on, I just kind of painted it like regular paint. This one over here I kind of globbed on. So we'll see what this trunk lid does later. I also kind of just painted this area right in here to see if that was going to be enough to take it off. Don't worry, I need a new roof. 45 minutes in and it's still a no-go. Not really concerned with how long it takes. Just showing y'all exactly how long it's going to take. After an hour, I was maybe able to get not even a 1/16 of an inch off of it. So at 1 hour, it's still no-go. After about an hour and 15 minutes, I'm starting to see some bubbling of the paint. Just here and there. Right there. I still have this area right here where I just barely got it, or I missed it hardly. You might ask, why didn't I just take the door off and spray it down with some sort of a aircraft paint remover? It's because the doors fit so good at this time, and it might sound a little bit foolish from a guy that doesn't have a total lot of a body experience, but I don't want to take those doors off. Now the directions say to do this where the temperature is going to be between 65 and 85 degrees. It's a little bit cooler than that today, so maybe that's why it's not taking it all off within 30 minutes to an hour or whatever, but I've got time. It shows that it's about 50 degrees in my shop. Okay, this is about an hour and 20 minutes. And now a lot more is starting to pop up. Let's see there. But it is in the areas where I was putting it on pretty thick. It's pretty thick there, and it hasn't started yet. Okay, this is an hour and 50 minutes. And you can tell right here, it's starting to bubble up pretty good. Okay, this is 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's getting a lot more. Thought I would run a little bit by you here. Can't tell you if that's the Cortez Silver or if that's the beginning primer. But it is coming off pretty easy. Primer, Cortez Silver. Don't know. Man, I'm liking it so far. This says that it stays active for 24 hours. So some of these areas that are a little problematic, you can leave this stuff on there and it will take care of it after a while, most likely. I'll try it and I'll let you know the results. Make sure you put some sort of drop cloth or something down so you don't get that stuff everywhere. It comes off in a kind of a liquidish type goo, sort of like a jelly type goo. So I don't know what this would do to your garage floor, but probably not much. It's going to be good. Now, granted, I'm going to have to come back in here and do some more. This is the spot that I didn't get any on at all, or very thin. Now you know why I put the cardboard underneath it. I'm using a plastic paint scraper because I don't want to damage the metal any more than I have to. For the most part, this stuff did the work for me. I've put different types of stuff on cars before. This seems to have worked better than stuff I've used before, but the stuff I was using was years ago, so I can't really tell you, what's out on the market today as far as what's the best or any of that type of stuff. A lot of this would have came off with my paint scraper, but I thought I would go ahead and try to make it easy for me. I have a lot of metal work done on this car eventually, so kind of hard figuring out where I had marked. It's kind of hard figuring out where I was at. So far, I haven't seen any extra filler in the car. Got a lot of, needs a lot of body work anyway, but here's where I put some on earlier on the trunk lid. I put kind of wiped it down here, kind of like painting it, not any thickness of any sort. And here's where I put a glob. You're going to have to put it on there thicker in all areas in order to get this stuff off. Okay, it's almost all off. Just a little bit more to do around the door handle and the spot that I didn't get at all, and some down low that I missed. Now this either Cortez Silver or primer is now coming off, and it shows like a brown underlayer which is, I don't know if it's primer or what as far as that goes. Anybody know, let me know. As far as, did Chevrolet in 1970 use a brown primer underneath the Cortez Silver? I have no idea. You let me know down in the comments. This side's starting to activate some, and I am going to leave it overnight to see what happens overnight. Like I'm going to tell you here in a little bit, I have only got about an hour's worth of scraping in on this. The most part, you know, I probably have about an hour worth of putting this stuff on the car in different spots and re-putting it back on. So for me, it's worked great because I got a lot of stuff to do. Got a big Jeep, lots of stuff to do in the shop besides just work on the Nova. FYI, the longer you leave this stuff on, it's going to start taking off everything underneath it. Okay, so how much did I use of this on the door? Well, I didn't use but maybe a quarter of it. I've used just below half total now, and I've actually done the other side of the car. I did the door, the back quarter, a lot of the back quarter panel on the other side, since it's not as damaged as this one is, since I'll be using more of it than I will be on this side. So for $12 and something at Lowe's, this was phenomenal, I think. My total hour of me actually working was probably about an hour's worth of work, scraping with the plastic scraper. Most of the time that was involved in this is waiting on this stuff to actually activate and tear into the paint. I sat here and worked on the front fender as far as sanding it down and primering it and all that type of stuff and resanding it. Of course, it's got a long way to go, but I sat there and worked on it most of the day while this stuff was activating. So I feel like this is a good product if you have the time. I can sit here and wait. Doesn't bother me. Like I said, it doesn't smell bad whatsoever at all. I'll be doing more of this. I'll show you in another video. If you follow my Nova videos, you'll be able to see that in the Nova videos. But I'm going to go ahead and wipe this whole side down, as far as the other side as well, so I can get it primered, so I can get this thing ready to, I'm just going to drive this thing. I got a 454 already lined up for it. I've got, I need to pick up a 4-speed transmission. The one I thought I was going to get, I didn't get. Somebody got it out from underneath me before I could get to it. But this thing is going to be ready to go, and it's not going to be show quality at any sort. I'm going to drive this thing. I'm going to cruise it, and I'm going to have fun with it. And then a few years down the line, when I get all the bugs and everything worked out of it, then I'm going to take it down, take it apart, and do it right. Appreciate everybody for watching, liking, subscribing. And as always, if you're right or hard, don't put her up wet. It's too hard to fix when it's been put away wet. Thank you.